And welcome back. Yesterday was a fun day in the Northwoods.
What happened?
Well, after work in the morning, the Northwoods historian Carrie Bladorn and myself, we took off to the next location to film Connecting the Dots near the UP border. Because Carrie and I do that. It's a fun history segment once a month. And as we were returning from a long shoot around 5:15 p.m., our tire pressure light came on.
Uh-oh.
Yes, exactly. Thinking, it was just nothing. So we pulled off of the road in Argonne, where we found ourselves in a bit of a pickle. There was no spare tire, there was 1% battery on my phone, and no tools in the station vehicle besides a compressor. So that was
And that compressor wasn't working from what you told me.
Well, the compressor worked, but the fluid in it didn't work.
So in other words, it was useless.
Exactly. It's imagine blowing up a balloon that's already been popped. It's not great. But thankfully, just as it began to rain as well, thanks to you for that, Devin, our hero pulled up asking if we needed help. His name was Travis Mullins. And he got us to a Dollar General in Crandon, where we got the clogging spray and saw us patch up the tire and get on our limping way back home. I greatly appreciated his kindness in lending us the broken down historian's hand getting home. Thank you again, Travis. That was quite the time.
Yeah, I saw your message in our work work platform. I was like, oh man, you already had a long day from working this morning or working yesterday morning, and then all the way up to Iron Mountain, and then breaking down on the way back. That's never fun. I actually have had a tire blowout happen before, and it happened back in July 2019. I was actually traveling down to see a couple friends from college get married, and next thing you know, I just feel this shaking and everything else. And I did a brake check, and I'm like, that's not normal. I could just tell, so I pulled over right away, looked around, I was like, well, and a whole bunch of words I can't say on the air. So I was working on changing that tire and everything with Dad on the phone. He was hearing me grumbling and swearing and everything else too. And then most people were moving over on the highway, but of course, not everybody. I know in Illinois they call it Scott's Law. I don't know what they call it up here though. But I'm sure there's some kind of law in the book that says, hey, move over whenever there's a pulled over vehicle, whether it's someone broken down like me or somebody else.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a law, but I know it's just common courtesy, give them a lane. But
yeah, it's common courtesy.
In Argonne, there is not a lot going on there, traffic-wise. Yeah, we were very happy to see someone pull up.
This was an interstate for me versus for you guys, so it was thankfully less busier road.
Yes, less busier, but we needed the help. And, with 1% battery, we weren't going to be calling many people for it.
Let me guess, and you did not have a car charger either.
Oh, absolutely not. We thought we'd be fine. But, we got back. It all worked out, and hopefully they put a spare tire in the car moving forward.
Yeah, let's hope. I'm sure you'll be roasting our engineers this morning on that one.
It's a fun time, but moving right along.
Yeah, right. So you might not be able to see certain Reddit forums on Monday. Do you use Reddit, Michael?
I don't really know.
Me neither, honestly. But thousands of the message boards are going dark to protest upcoming changes to the social media platform. This is the first I've heard of this. The voluntary blackouts restrict groups' content from being publicly visible. And this is the latest backlash as the company looks to better monetize users. And for years, Reddit users could browse posts, write comments, and share pictures and videos on Reddit from third-party apps. But starting next month, Reddit plans to charge millions of dollars in fees for some third-party apps to continue assessing the platform. So I don't know about that one though. I'm no expert when it comes to charging these third-party companies. So
yeah, it sounds eerily similar to the Twitter story that we aired a while back when they were talking about charging people to allow them to have more access, because apparently if you don't pay a certain fee, you're not getting all of the profiles that are available to you. You're limited to a certain amount of data and publicly circulated information. But the more money that you pay, the more that you're allowed to intake into your profile.
Typical Elon Musk, right?
This sounds eerily similar to that. The more money you pay, the more access you have, and
exactly.
Just to
I also think on Netflix, everyone's all mad about that now, which means I won't be able to use my dad's Netflix anymore. He used it. I didn't use it much to begin with. So I guess that not much of a loss there, though. I know he uses it at home. It'll be interesting to see how things work out when if he uses it while traveling. So, because if it flags him for that, then I'd be like, get rid of it.
Absolutely, but we're going to move right along here because Delta says an emergency slide accidentally deployed on one of their planes.
Ooh.
Oh, goodness. This happened while a plane was on the ground at Salt Lake International Airport on Saturday. And it says the Boeing 767 has been going from New York to Los Angeles when an unrelated maintenance issue caused a diversion. A crew member is out of the hospital after what the airline calls a precautionary evaluation. Delta says it flew the 168 affected passengers to L.A. on a different plane the same evening.
Yeah, thankfully that occurred on the ground, though, so it was just like, whoop, and everyone's like, should we be evacuating or something?
Yeah, you know, you don't think when you're getting on a plane you're going to be just, you know, getting right off of it on a slide. That's certainly something.
Yeah, usually when that's happening, usually there's a dire emergency, like a fire or something, and...
But honestly, you know, commuting from New York to L.A., there's always something that seems to go wrong when you have these big trips planned.
Oh, yeah, especially these cross-country trips, too. I mean, whether it's on the ground or in the air, obviously in the air it's a lot faster, too.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing, though, when I first flew back in college for a chartered flight, though, because our college basketball team made won the women's basketball tournament for the NCAA.
Mm-hmm.
It's so interesting, though, because you get that misconception of how far away you are when you fly versus when you drive.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, there's a lot of things that go into it. You know, when you're thinking about flying, a lot of it is also the weather.
Yes. So with that in mind, though, we do